Hello, my name is September Cheery, and I'm going to be going over my draft instructional design plan. So my design plan is basically for a potential learner to be able to tell a story time to a child in elementary school. So potential learners would be someone who has most likely graduated with a degree in MLIS and would be working with children in a library setting. There really is no range for experience. You could have done many story times, or you might not have ever told a story to a child at all. This class would be offered online, it would be virtual, and it's mostly just a recommended course if you're interested in this topic. The most important thing is that the participant will learn creativity, performance, and interaction, both physical and through communication when telling a story. So step 2, overview of the program. So this is what the learner will take away and what they'll want a child to take away from their storytime experience. So a learner will learn the suggestion list of storytime books, a checklist of how to properly introduce and run a story time, basically everything from the introduction of the book to engaging the child throughout the story time, which is harder than it seems, and introducing a game or activity related to the reading. They will work collaboratively with the other participants of this course. And they will be making a videotape of themselves telling a story, and this will be peer reviewed. So all of this will be able to be seen in the video that they will make at the end of the course. Step 3, what type of learner? So as I said before, this is typically someone who's already graduated from the MLIS program and has an interest or already is a children's librarian. Very basic minimal requirements. They will need to shoot a video. They will have the ability to read and write and work collaboratively as a team. Step 4, achieving objectives. So the learning objectives will basically be when they walk away from this course that they can choose an age-appropriate themed children's storybook. They can describe the methods used to engage a child in a story time. They will be able to perform alone for an audience of children, and they can follow through on these themes of story time to a hands-on activity. And as I said before, this will all be apparent when they are making their video. You should be able to see these steps in the video that they make at the end of the course. So step 5, a step-by-step instructional. The module of learning will be Zoom, and the student will watch a video lecture, a story time done by the instructor. They will participate in group discussion. They will upload their own story time video project, and then they will have feedback with multiple other participants at the end. Materials needed. So my instruction will be online. I'll be using Zoom as my teaching tool. I will hold a Zoom session, the first one for participants, and they'll watch an example of a story time, and they'll also be given a lecture with graphics on how to plan their own story time. This will be followed up with a second Zoom instruction in which the students will screen share their own recordings of their story times, and the group will be watching and giving constructive feedback through the chat window. So step 7, the end of program assessment. So the summative assessment will definitely be the story time video that the student submits for their second Zoom presentation. There really is no grade, especially since I said before that this is mostly because you're just interested in the topic. So it really will be the student feedback that will allow me not only to see the effectiveness of the course, but for the students to see other people's opinions and suggestions as well of how they can tailor their story times. So the formative assessment will be the chat window that I use in my Zoom instruction. So the chat window in my first Zoom instruction will be used for just general questions and feedbacks throughout my presentation. And then the chat window in my second Zoom instruction will be used for feedback for the student videos. So this is very low stakes assessments. They will not be graded. And then the chat window also, I will introduce feedback for myself. with questions sort of just was seeing an example of a story time being performed helpful when it came to making your own video. And those can actually be emailed to me after the course, since I know some people don't want their names associated with their feedback. And that would do it. Okay, thank you so much.